Hello and welcome back to my channel. I've got a really important question on my mind. Should men be vulnerable with women? Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. Men should definitely be vulnerable with women. Because you see, us women, we just want to get into your head. We just want to figure you out. We want to know what's going on in there. We do want to take a look at your demons. We want to take a look at them. We want to look them right in the eye. But we don't want to vanquish them for you. No. That's too much. That's too much work. And I'm actually very serious about this. Okay? And just like all my videos talking about men or women, it's pretty gender neutral here as far as what I'm talking on. Healthy vulnerability is about sharing your emotional truth, but it's not about outsourcing your emotional labor. So, for example, I love it when I'm dating a man and he's finally opening up to me about his childhood, about his early experiences in life, his early experiences with love, his parents, what he learned about them, his siblings, the times he got bullied or the misfortunes he came upon as a little child. But I don't like it when he looks to me to try to fix those wounds, or he wants me to mother him. Sharing emotional experiences with your partner is just about sharing your truth and what you went through. It's not about looking to the other person to soothe or treat your wound. When a man comes to me and starts talking to me about the stress of his job and how much he doesn't like it and how much he wishes he could find a new job, I hear him, I validate him, I might ask some questions, but don't expect me to go tweak your resume and start looking for a new job for you on Indeed, okay? That's your job. Yeah, tell me about how your brother mistreats you and bullies you all the time. But don't expect me to stand up to him. In fact, I actually kind of want a man who can realize it's time for me to stand up to my brother. It's time for me to put my foot down. It's time for me to find a new job because I'm miserable. It's time for me to go to therapy and start unwrapping these childhood wounds that I have. Do you get what I'm saying? And like I said, this does go both ways. A woman should not be looking to her partner to fix all of her problems, okay? Neither person should be a victim. Neither person should be looking to the other person's like, hey, motherfucker, I'm not happy. And you signed an unspoken emotional contract to keep me happy for life. So how dare you let me suffer like this? Relationships and vulnerability are about being seen, which is also why if you're single and you're lonely and you feel unseen, there's a certain itch you can scratch just by looking yourself in the mirror, actually looking at the pupils in the mirror and saying, hey, I see you. I know what you're going through. You're putting a lot of effort into life right now. I'm here for you. And that's the same thing that a partner should be doing. So whether you're single or you're partnered, the partner's job is not to fix your problems or to soothe your emotional angst. It's more important for them to just see your experience, for them to just see your struggle. So many times in my grief experience, when I felt the most alone I have ever felt in my entire life, even when I did share some of my feelings with other people, unfortunately, they actually didn't itch my scratch as much as when I was alone and I was actually able to validate myself, because nobody knows what you're going through. Nobody knows what it's like to live in your skin. We're all walking around avoiding the actual center of our own being. There is a being in here and you can interact with it. That's why when I see people walking on the side of the road and they're talking to themselves and they're throwing their hands up or whatever, I mean, they might be on drugs, but I don't care. I'm clapping. Yes, I'm one of those people. I talk to myself a lot. Hey, Brie. Sometimes it's Brianna. Sometimes it's Brie. Sometimes it's girl. Sometimes it's queen. Doesn't matter. I talk to myself. The relationship I have with myself is very important. And that means that in my current relationship with my boyfriend, I'm not constantly looking to him to fix my problems. I just want him to see, like, hey, I had a tough day with the kids. It was so stressful because I did X, Y, and Z, and I have this other job, and that's going on, and this is going on, and whatever. And all I'm looking for him to say to me, I'm not even looking for a phrase necessarily. I'm just looking for some eye contact, some body language, or even emotional recognition in his face that he is trying to empathize with me, that he's trying to see me. That feels really, really good. And yes, partners will inevitably actually end up soothing each other, and they might offer some comfort or encouragement or advice. And that is a beautiful thing when it comes from a place of willingness and not obligation. Obligation kills relationships. Obligation for anything in a relationship is like poison, okay? Same thing goes for, I see a lot of like women out there coaching, and they're like, men are pretty easy. You just got to keep their balls drained and their stomach full and give them a peaceful, happy home to live in. That's it, girls. And if you can't do that, you're a failure and you're not a good woman. Wow. You know what that made me feel is, okay, so now sex is an obligation. Now I don't want to do it. Ever. Just count me out. Nope, not doing it. When I cook you a meal, it should be because it's my pleasure, not because I have to or because I signed some sort of contract saying dinner's at 6 p.m. and it's my job to cook it. You meet your own needs, you cook your own meals, and then you finally combine with somebody. They're still doing their thing, you're still doing your thing, and when your cups are so overfilled with things because you're constantly meeting your own needs, then you share and you comfort and you soothe. There is a certain art of communication when it comes to vulnerability. And it is kind of like consent for sex. You can think of it like that. So, I love it when someone comes to me and they say, hey, I'm going through something. Can I talk to you about it? Because I literally, as a previous self-sacrificial martyr and empath, I actually now do assess in my head, do I have the energy and the bandwidth to hear this person's struggle? And then I can respond mindfully and say, yeah, I would love to hear what you're going through right now. Or, you know what? I had a really long day. Is there any way we could have this conversation first thing in the morning? Another communication example is, I want to vent to you about something that happened at work today. I don't really want any solutions from you, if that's okay. I just want you to know what I went through. That's another great communication around vulnerability. So if you are a man and you have felt before in previous relationships that you have been shut down, that you've opened up and it turned her off, that you were vulnerable and she said, no, you're too much. I would first encourage you to assess if you are emotionally mature in your delivery, and if you truly feel like you were and you weren't being a victim or dumping your emotional labor on your partner, then there's a chance that that partner just maybe was not in a good place in the moment, or maybe they're just not the right match for you. Maybe they're not in a healthy place that you need in order to share your vulnerability. I would say yes, men should be vulnerable with women. They really should. Share. Just don't dump the responsibility of your emotions on your partner. Same with women. You should be vulnerable, but don't be the victim of life. Don't go to your man and stir up the tears just trying to get him to fix your problems. Vulnerability is about communication. It's about emotional maturity. It is not weakness. Vulnerability is actually truly emotional leadership and strength when done correctly. So I hope this encourages you to be more vulnerable with your partner. And I'll see you next time.